Good morning to you. Guy Watson here, Bognor Regis Bonsai. Today is Thursday the 7th of July. Now coming up in a week's time, our Bonsai Club has its monthly meeting and the Tree of the Month competition is pines. Now I was thinking of taking this little beauty of a Scots pine along. I know it's still wired here, but I don't think it's too bad shape. So what I need to do first is to pluck out some needles because it is just looking a bit of a mess. So that is today's little job, a general tidy up of it. This tree was actually won as a raffle prize from the club. Oh, must have been about, well, that was one of my first raffle prizes, must have been about 5 years ago. And I know that Blue Jay has seen this because I sent him a picture of it once and he put it in for his subscribers' pics. Right, that is what I'm sort of thinking of, to do in each of the branches, just to tidy it up like that. And I think that will actually make it look a lot tidier. And there are some branches here that have to be removed. They're bending all over the place. But once again, it's a matter, as I've said many a time, of showing trunks, branches and everything else. To have a bonsai overgrown takes away from the pleasing sight of the thing. I just keep plucking away. No need to rush, I've got a week to do it, as I say so. Just twist this wire around, get it out of the way. I'll make use of it. Chop the end off. What I'm leaving here are more of the fresher green ones if I can. Some of these are a bit darker back here. Excuse me. But I think we've got to do that. Let's have a look around here, see what we've got. Clean up the trunks. Scots Pine, please excuse me, Scots Pines are some of my favourite looking trees. In fact, Tony's Bonsai, Tony asked a question once, which is your favourite tree for a bonsai? And I did actually say Scots Pine because if you look at them in nature, they can fit into all sorts of terrain and adapt their style to that terrain. I know I'm not going for a snow-covered mountaintop look on this one, but you can get them twisting around and looking very gnarly. I mean, alright, this looks a bit gnarly, but there. Does that look cleaner? I think so. And this is a simple job, but I believe it is improving the appearance of the tree tenfold. And of course by doing it now, it does give me a chance in the next 7 days to keep having a look at it, to see how I can make things even better on it. I will have to clean up the soil and put some macadama on it if I've got some. I know it's pricey now. People are starting to use a small grade gravel or chippings, just basically to cut the costs down as a top dressing. I think I've got some macadama lying around I can use. These needles pull out very, very easily. In fact, it's quite therapeutic doing this. And you can see which one's needed, as I say, because they're a darker green. Once you get to the lighter ones, it looks a lot fresher branch. And for those of you that are not sure, you can always tell a Scots Pine because it's got a double leaf like that on all its nodes. So, when you see that, you can always say Scots Pine. Yeah, it might be looking a bit sparser, but I think that looks fresher. I won't bore you with going through all this the whole time, but I'm going to slowly work my way up the tree. And I'll come back to you once I've got up here somewhere. Right, see you in a minute. Okay, we're down to our last section of this tree up here. So I thought I'd bring you back to just see the last one being done. It's probably taken about, well, just over half an hour to go around the tree, pulling off these older needles. Did I just hear that camera bleep? Probably means the battery's gone. Oh no, we're still recording. Right. Okay. As I say, it's been fairly simple because all the older needles are darker green. And what I have noticed in going around this, and I'll show you a close-up shortly, we have some white bugs on it, so they'll have to be sprayed later. As you can see, they do pull off pretty easily. Now there's too much going on there. We need to remove something. That one's nearer to the other branch of the tree over here, so we'll take that one off. And down here actually, this one's going into the tree. Have that one off. We've still got 3 branches coming from here. So I think what I'll have to do is take this one off. There. Tidy up this cut points a a bit. There we go. And I think that's about it. Oh, a bit more here. If I do miss some, it'll be on the table right outside the back door here. And I'll have a look at it for a week. Right, let's just scan out. It won't let me scan, so I'm going to have to turn it off and come back. Okay, let's see what you all think. I believe that's going to be the front. Went around to the side. There's the back. It's a pretty old gnarly tree. The other side. And then back to the front. Right, I'll just show you what I've got to do on these spraying bits. Some more needles here need to come off. Right, let me lift up the camera, show you what I've got to do, then I'll spray it. Right, just to show you a close-up of these bugs that we've got coming around, which obviously will need spraying off. This is the stuff I'm going to be using. Bug Clear Ultra. So I'll clear all around the table and I'll spray that all over it and leave that to dry for a few minutes. Right, I'll go spraying. Okay, here we go. I do want to get right into all these nooks and crannies here to try and get rid of this white bug. Some form of aphid, I believe. I'll wash my hands obviously after this. Right, there we go. We'll let that sit for 10 minutes, then we'll come and rinse it off. Rightio, cheerio for now. Right, okay, time to rinse. Actually, what I will do, get the turntable out of the way first. Right. And at least by doing it now, as I say, it's a week in advance. I can always spray it again if needed before the show, before the competition. Right, there we go. Okay, right, I'll see how that goes over the next week, and we'll maybe put some more on before the show. If not, you won't see this until Friday of tomorrow week. Okay, cheerio for now. Well, hello there. It's now 6 days until our club competition. So I found some moss. I put that on here and I thought, I also found my akadama. And I thought, well, the moss has got to grow, stick it on. And why don't I put the akadama on now? So that is what we're having a go at. Now the feeding baskets that are still on it, I did actually ask a question in the club before our club show at Manor Nursery. Should the baskets be left on during the show or not? And the answer was, well, everybody knows that bonsais have to be fed, so they are acceptable, but probably preferable not to have them on for a show. So I'll keep the baskets on just for now, but I'll take them off before I go to the competition. Actually, I'm quite enjoying this tree. It's looking quite fresh now. And being out here, I can keep it well watered right outside the back door of the house until next Thursday. I hope the price of Akadama does come down soon, because it does make a nice contrast with the moss. Oh, flaming wasp trying to get in on the act. Right. Well, there's the tree with its Akadama and moss. I will give you a... I haven't got the turntable with me. I don't know if you can see that properly, but I will take the camera off its stand so that you can have a look at the soil layer. Because if you're presenting a tree, it should be correct in every part. So let's see what you think when I take the camera off and have an overall view of it. Cheers for now. Well, there's a quick view of the top of it. Top of the soil, and it actually looks quite nice. So I'll give that a quick water off camera, but I think we're ready for the show with this tree. Right, you'll see this after the competition with all the other pines that are there in the show. Thank you very much. Hello. Well, today is the day before our Bonsai Club Tree of the Month competition, which is tomorrow. But just to make sure I've got rid of all these little white aphid type things, cotton bud and some methylated spirits. And we're going around each branch, each little needle bit. And hopefully this will kill everything off by tomorrow evening if there's anything left. There are some small little white marks here. What we're doing is giving it a little scrub with this cotton bud. I was shown this by Colette Harrison, who is the proprietor of Southampton Bonsai. I think she calls herself Colette's Trees now. And it seemed to work then. Didn't harm the tree at all. Right, round to up here. A few needles falling off, but never mind. They were obviously meant to come off. In here. Bit fiddly, but doesn't take too long. I don't really want to go to take this tree to the Tree of the Month competition with white aphids on it, do I? So I think that would be very appreciated by the rest of the tree owners. I'll leave this and wash it off later when I come to water early this afternoon. I was always a bit scared of pines until I was doing this, and I suddenly thought, I saw from, I've got an inspiration from David from Bonsai Works in Australia. He's the president of the Melbourne Society over there. And he was on about removing all the needles down the trunks, and once I did that it made it look a lot nicer. And obviously if I had wanted to back bud it, underneath each of these needles there is a dormant bud waiting to come out. So if you ever need to come back, wait for a needle to come out here, cut off just above that, and it should shorten your tree back into it about here. But at the moment we just want to do it by wiring a bit of a gnarly looking tree. Takes time, but I think it'll be worth it. Well, I've just got a couple more to do. I won't bore you with that. I'll get it on a turntable later and give you a final spin before I take it to the competition. Right, back in a minute. Okay, all ready, barring last thing before I go. Tomorrow is to give the pot a wipe over with some oil. Let's give you a 360 of this. The front, round to the side, the back. As you can see, it is leaning that way, so we'll make that the front. And back to the front, which is the way it's leaning. Right, the baskets I will leave in place at the moment because all members of the club know that this is the time of the year the plants need to be fed. So, I hope people like looking at it tomorrow evening. Right, thank you very much then. I'll get some stills of all the rest of the trees tomorrow and I'll post this on Friday for you. Cheerio for now.